On. On. Um, should probably talk about what? Russia? Really quick. Oh, Trump taking over DC. That's another topic as well. CDC shooting.
President Trump announcing he will meet with Russia.
Nice. Okay. Whoa, people! Don't watch this stream. It's a liberal stream only. No diversity of thought.
President Trump announcing he will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin this coming Friday in Alaska. It will be the first in-person meeting between leaders of the U.S. and Russia since Moscow launched its deadly 2022 invasion of Ukraine.
By the way, all the propaganda up to this point about Trump and being anti-NATO, being anti-Ukraine, calling Zelensky a dictator, it's all normalizing Russia. And right now, Russia wants to take control of eastern Ukraine. And Russia is saying if they get eastern Ukraine, then they will pause the war. But that's the goal. They want to legitimize their territorial capture and then keep on pushing over and over again until they're stopped by someone. And you can see right here, month to month. All right, so once Donald Trump was the president, okay, once he was elected president, Russia really upped drone strikes against Ukraine. So right here, you know, a little bit lower. Then you find out around here, oh crap, Trump's going to be president. America's ran by a pussy. Wow, guys, let's strike Ukraine. Let's double, triple, quadruple strikes to Ukrainian civilians because Trump is going to back us up. And remember the meeting with Zelensky and JD Vance? That came at the same time where Russia had increased their drone strikes by double or triple. Remember this. So Russia said, hey, look, America's being ran by a pussy. And I know people are going to say, well, Joe Biden was dead. The dead guy was a better president than your pedophile protector, okay?
Putin reportedly told U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff this week that he's willing to halt the war if Ukraine simply hands over the Donbass region in the eastern part of the country. Fred Fleitz served as former National Security Council Chief of Staff. He joins us now to react. Thank you, Fred, for joining us this morning. Do you have confidence that Putin is actually coming to negotiate, or is he trying to buy time?
I think there's some good signs. I think we have to first stipulate that critics of Trump who are claiming that it's an outrageous concession for Trump to meet with Putin are just dead wrong. It should be normal for American and Russian presidents to meet to promote good relations. Joe Biden was wrong in not speaking to Putin, even by phone, since February 2022. And we don't know where this...
Remember, Trump also said, Putin, stop, on Twitter. That was Trump's only rebuke of Putin. Then he said, Putin has very beautiful language, but he keeps on lying to me like a little baby. Like a little baby boy, Trump was saying. And as Russia keeps on bombing grandmas and kids, targeting civilian apartment complexes, taking more of Ukraine, Russia has been defended by Trump. Russia has violated Trump's orders, quote-unquote orders, multiple times. Trump has been such a baby, moving dates back, moving deadlines back over and over and over again. Now, essentially, Russia's demands would be the region that they have captured so far would all become legitimized Russian territory. It's not just this region here, which I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but they want all of eastern, this portion here. So maybe, I want to say like 10 to 20% of Ukraine, they want to have that be part of Russia. And they said to halt the war, not an actual end to the war, no security guarantees, no nothing. Just to halt the war is completely fake. But Trump is very stupid. Trump is very, very, very stupid. And you can see the different mineral reserves here and raw materials that Russia wants from Ukraine as well. And you heard America sign on to like a minerals deal with Ukraine that also included no guarantees. But yeah, Trump is very dumb, and you can just kiss Trump's ass. He'll do whatever for you. That's why Tim Cook from Apple took a 24-karat gold plaque to Trump's office to get tariff exemptions. Because if you're ultra wealthy, you can kiss Trump's feet. He will do anything for you. If you're a small business owner, Trump's tariffs are going to give $200 billion in new taxes to small businesses in America. Huge tax raise to the American working class, small businesses, and consumers in America. And Trump still says that other people, other countries pay that tariff. But no, Americans pay the damn import tax. A tariff is an import tax. But you clowns are pushovers. So you just let Trump lie to you nonstop. And you love it. You love it. You love daddy controlling you.
Where these negotiations will actually come out. But there's actually been movement. Previously, Putin wanted control of all regions along the current front line. Now he's asking for control of Donetsk and Luhansk, most of which Russia already controls. That's going to be hard for Ukraine to accept. But look, in negotiations, parties typically come in with opening positions that have to be negotiated. We have to bridge the gaps.
Yeah, so speaking of that, Zelensky is saying that he does not intend to give up any land. Listen to this.
No one will retreat from this, and Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. Any decisions that are against us,
you need to understand,
any decisions that are without Ukraine are at the same time decisions against peace.
You need to understand, like, Ukraine has come to the table for literally every conversation. They have gone to every country America has talked about. Russia has denied meetings, and America keeps getting pushed around by Israel and Russia. America, when it comes to Israel and Russia, acts like we're a little puppet state, and we don't have any power to actually control anything globally. We are such little babies when it comes to those two countries. We could throw in some Middle Eastern countries as well, other countries in the Middle East. But regardless, the key point here is that these are fake concessions. It's a fake deal. So Putin will do this thing where he does propaganda and gets really dumb people in other countries that have democracies to support his propaganda messaging. But yeah, if Russia would halt the war, quote unquote, if they got these two regions of Ukraine, they would continue the offensive. That's why Zelensky says we're not going to sign anything that says the official territory will now be Russia's. Because once you have those maps drawn, it becomes easier and easier for Russia to keep on picking off more territory, picking off more and more and more territory. And a bunch of European countries are like, what the hell, dude? You have Latvia, you have Estonia, you have Finland, and what else? You have, I believe, Norway. You have a bunch of countries bordering Russia right now. Now, Belarus is captured by Russia. But you have Poland as well, bordering Russia. And those countries are worried because it's like, hey, if they can just invade Ukraine, kill a bunch of their civilians, and now they get to have part of their territory, and America is going to reinforce that and actually run propaganda, defending Russia, then what are we going to do? All those different countries are at a huge threat.
They will not achieve anything. These are dead solutions. They will never work.
Right.
Yeah,
so is that just an opening negotiation, or do you think he's standing firm on that?
I think it is Zelensky's opening position, and I've long believed that the way to end this war is to freeze it along the current battle lines. It could be that both sides will cede some territory. Maybe Russia's going to give.
The crazy thing is, Russia can just do everything again, right? This was an illegal war. It always was an illegal invasion. What does it change anything if nothing fundamentally changes with like global support for Ukraine? Like Russia can just do another illegal invasion. Like the deal needs to include some security guarantee for Ukraine, an actual guarantee, a real guarantee with actual skin in the game, a real guarantee, not just a minerals deal, a real guarantee, because they know Russia does not respect any treaty or any diplomatic relation whatsoever. They need to be strong-armed into a position, and they are being bolstered by Iran and China.
Back Zaporizhzhia, there's been some discussions about that. I think Russia's probably going to want to hold on to Crimea, which Ukraine can't reasonably get back. But I mean, this is the beginning of a process. I think that's promising.
Okay, I want to turn to...
And if America legitimizes the stolen territory, then...
Israel now. We know that Netanyahu intends to reinvade Gaza and hold that territory. Obviously, the United States...
Trump his foreign policy, the same goes for Israel and Gaza, by the way. So in Gaza, death has also like doubled or tripled or quadrupled under Trump. Same with Ukraine. Global conflicts have gotten way worse under Trump, way worse on every single front. And you talk about the Abraham Accords. It's really funny that the Abraham Accords dealt with every easy issue in the region. They dealt with all the money-making issues with Saudis, with UAE. It dealt with those issues and Israel, already growing relations. But it did not do anything to address what? Iran or Palestine, right? So the Abraham Accords were bullshit. But, peace in the Middle East or whatever the hell they say.
This is indicating that there are some that while they agree with the objectives, there are some differences in approach. Here's J.D. Vance.
Our goals are very clear. We want to make it so that Hamas can't attack innocent people. We want to solve the humanitarian problems in Gaza. We're working incredibly hard, the president and the entire team, to make sure that happens. I mean, we've been in constant negotiations.
J.D. Vance has taken 8 vacations this summer. Donald Trump has been golfing for 70% of the presidency, by the way.
Conversations, even in the last 24 hours, about how to get more aid into Gaza, about how to solve that humanitarian problem, and also how to get Hamas to a position where they can't continue to threaten the citizens and the civilians of Israel. So there's a lot of work to do there. There's a lot of common objectives.
Did you see J.D. Vance got the Army engineers to raise the river water levels so he can do a swimming kayaking trip in Ohio? He was at Disneyland. He was at the Coliseum. He was in... What was he in, like Venice? I don't even know. He was on like 10 different vacations doing nothing except complaining about culture war.
There is some, I think, disagreement about how exactly to accomplish those common objectives. But look, it's a tough situation.
How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, so Trump meeting with Trump's businesses are very, very entrenched with Russian oligarchs as well. Like Trump's businesses are very shady with Russian oligarchs. Russian state TV has been talking for a while now about meeting in Russia, about meeting in Alaska. And now they're getting their wish, meeting on American territory. After spitting in America's face. Now we're having the meeting on Russia's terms. As a country, we have been slapped around. We have been slapped around as a country since Trump took office, including with trade and China. China has been killing us with global influence, global trade, every single metric. With energy production, with new age, modern technology, with artificial intelligence. With Trump in office, America has fallen back more than we ever thought was possible. We are ran by literal brain-dead morons. Please drop a like, subscribe, follow, call into the show. They have to do... Yeah, all the money Doge saved us, dude. We're gonna each get $5,000. We're gonna each get $5,000 from Doge, guys. I saw a video, or I saw a clip on Twitter, or a picture. They're going against Zoran Mamdani. Hot girls for capitalism. Hot girls for capitalism. Now, this is how you message for young audiences. Hot girls for capitalism, dude. The Sydney Sweeney campaign.
Hello.
Oh, hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
This is The Politics.
The guy I just watched on YouTube?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, what's up, dog?
I'm a cat.
No, you can be a cat too if you want to.
Yeah, dude. Yo, what's up?
Yeah, I came across your live channel. And so it said something about debating about Trump. What's up?
I don't know. Tell me what's up. I'm a liberal. You can ask me any question you want.
So, shit, I actually really wasn't prepared for a call back, honestly. So what did he do that's so bad in your mind? Let's start with the basics. Let's not get crazy.
Okay.
Let's not get crazy. Let's start with the basics, because he's got his hands in a million pots. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like,
I mean, including underage. Never mind. So Epstein joke. So like when we talk about like tariffs, for example, tariffs are the biggest tax increase on small businesses done by a president by his own action in American history. $200 billion in new taxes for small businesses in America and American consumers. And Trump still says that foreign countries pay the tariff. Complete lie. He still says it 6 months into the presidency. That's one big issue.
Yeah. I don't have anything on that one, honestly, bro. Because the economy, under the first time he was under the president, our economy's improved like a substantial amount over Obama. It was Obama handed us. I'm not saying I'm a fucking Republican or anything. Sorry if I'm swearing. I don't know if this is going on something. You still there?
If you look at the growth trends before Obama left office, it was growing quicker before Trump. It actually slowed down a little bit under Trump. But the economy, the fundamentals were doing great after Obama recovered us from 2008 financial crisis. And Trump actually hurt our growth and increased inflation with his tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. So you can say like the economy was good, but Trump did nothing at all. I would argue that Trump did pretty much nothing to affect the economy as president, other than tax cuts. The first time around, and now that Trump has more power and is doing policies, we see how brain dead he is. I feel like, because other people made decisions last time, like the deep state made decisions last time.
If we look at let's look at Bush, right? So the Bush abomination that happened, right? So Bush was setting Obama up for fucking failure, right? Obama brought the economy up, but according to his policies at the same time, started bringing us back down because, there's an ebb and a flow with politics, depending on which way you want to fucking look at it. So regardless, in my opinion, each president sets the next one up for failure, regardless of.
Well, no, Trump took. When Trump took office in 2017, it was set for complete success. You could have done nothing, and he did nothing to the economy other than increase tax cuts, which gave us a higher national debt, but he just increased our national debt. He did nothing for the actual economy. It was growing the same rate as the final 2 years under Obama. So, like, Trump did take control at a really easy time. Same thing now, by the way. Bush set up Obama for failure. Obama got us out of it. Trump had the economy crash and handled COVID terribly. Then Biden had to take control.
If you think about COVID, I think he handled that actually pretty well for being.
America had like 3 times more deaths than any other country in the world.
But if you look at COVID, like it was pretty much fucking fake, most of it.
COVID was the number one cause of death in the year 2021.
Yeah, but all of a sudden the flu went down. Hold on.
Yeah, because of masking and social distancing.
The flu went down. All these other
because of social distancing and lockdowns and masking. Yeah,
dude, my next door neighbor, he was 68 years old, was dying of heart failure. Right, never left his house. The dude would wash his car like twice a week. Never left his house. He died of heart failure in his chair watching TV or whatever, and he died from corona, but he never left his house. You know what I mean? But his death was considered a coronavirus death because it was heart failure, even though he never left his house, and he's been dealing with this for years, never did nothing. You know what I mean? The dude was an active heart failure.
So the big thing is,
and then he dies.
With COVID,
you know what I mean?
I don't care about individual cases. That sucks. Now,
individual cases though is
with COVID.
Is all the cases.
Okay, no. Okay, so with COVID was killing.
COVID.
Calm yourself. COVID was killing 4,000 people per day in 2021 before Trump left office. Okay, that was the highest by far cause of death in America. 1,000 more, 2,000 more than heart disease per day. 2,000 more than cancer per day. COVID was killing by far the most, highest number of people in America of anything. And Trump's handling of COVID, regardless, he saw us have an economic crash. Biden took control after an economic crash, just like Obama did. Biden got us out of it, got blamed for it, and then Trump has taken office now when the economy's booming, and now Trump's crashing the economy because of dumbass policies like tariffs.
Oh yeah, so the tariff thing, I do agree with on the tariff thing. We're biting off more than we can chew on that. I won't debate more about the COVID thing just because I'm very what's the word, bipartisan towards, or very biased towards it being bullshit, this whole COVID thing. But I do agree that Trump is biting off more than he could chew with the tariffs, because why the fuck are we pissing off Canada and Mexico for no reason?
Because he's working for China and Russia.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
I mean, what else would he be doing?
Because
He's
Russia,
hurting
dude.
our allies.
Yeah, but why would we work with the two biggest adversaries of the United States in power
Well,
control?
that's a good question, but Trump loves the
you know what I mean?
dictators.
Because
Like, that's
we've
a good
been worried
question.
about China for 70 years. Easy,
Yeah, that's a good question. Why are we helping China with tariffs? Because we're pushing other countries towards China because they don't like us anymore. So we're helping China right now, which is weird.
Well, we've always been helping China. Who's going to snap our iPhones together? You know what I mean?
No, I mean, like, Obama did the TPP, which was a trade partnership essentially that would isolate China, and work with other countries like Vietnam, for example, to avoid working with China, to isolate them a little bit with global trade. Now, Trump hated that; he killed it. But regardless, like, we had things in place to try and reverse the trend globally to make sure we can benefit from global trade, and Trump's hurting us right now.
China keeps our economy going, our economy, because no one's going to snap our iPhones together like China does, you know, or like build.
No, but
okay,
so here's the main point. Here's the main point. Okay, so when you have allies like Canada and Mexico, the EU, you have Australia, and we start fights with them
that don't outsource anything.
Well, we start fights with them, and then they make more trade deals with China because America is unreliable. China's more popular globally than America is right now because of Donald Trump. And America was pathetic
because
on the
of
world stage.
what China's able to produce, right?
No,
so
this happened when Trump became president. This happened. I'm just saying.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. I'm just saying China's able to outproduce us 10-1 on goods, right? Well, if the United States does not become is no longer a customer of China, cut ties with China 100%. China's economy is gonna fucking cripple.
China's economy would probably be better than ours would. So, like, under Biden, we had a better place in the world economy. Under Trump, we are failing right now. Countries do not respect us anymore under Trump, and that's the big point of the tariffs. We're starting trade wars, doing acts of aggression towards our allies, and they are making deals with China we never thought were going to be possible. That's
been in play for fucking forever, man.
No,
everyone hates America.
That's a brand new thing. No,
they really do hate America. No, hating
that's
America
a brand new thing. You just don't know what you're talking about. No, like Canada would view America more positively by far than China.
The only thing that Canada can outsource to us is wood and stupid shit.
Canadian lumber and like gas and oil. Wait, you mean lumber and gas and oil, like the bare bones of our economy, of every economy?
Dude, we can subsidize all that.
Are you purposely eating brain chips, like paint chips, or do you just have to? Or like I don't even know.
Or I thought we were having an intellectual conversation, and you got to be a fucking cock. I thought.
No, you just got to stop talking confidently when you don't know shit about. You just said lumber and oil don't matter in an economy.
No,
from Canada.
Let's say we don't need Canada. We don't need Canada for dick.
Your brain is dead. You don't know shit about anything about about our economy. Canada, we need Canada for oil, for energy, and for lumber. Yes, we need Canada.
So you
don't know shit about anything.
To somebody that was going to be respectful to your channel and be respectful to you, and you got to say that.
Is disrespectful? You're looking at America fall right now, and you're too stupid to know that oil and lumber matter for our economy.
I was looking for some education and some insight, but
you don't want to listen to anything. I'm trying to educate you. You keep on interrupting.
I obviously was listening to you the whole time. I was giving you fucking a little bit of debate. That's what you wanted, right? And then in a debate,
I didn't mean to upset you, honey.
You wanted to no, kitten, easy.
Don't call me
Daddy's
kitten.
Not upset.
Whoa,
Daddy's not upset. Kitten.
Chill. This is getting a little weird.
You're the one that fucking wanted to start it with me.
What's going on?
So I'll fucking give it to you, dog.
Oh no! Don't. What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
No.
You wanted. No. I was having a pleasant discussion with you, and you had to call me a dumbass and eat paint chips. Easy, kitten.
Okay, do you know why I said that though? If you say like lumber doesn't matter from Canada.
No. Hear me out, dog. This is the problem with the liberals, right? I'm not a Republican.
Because we like facts.
No,
and we upset your emotions.
Like fucking fluffing your own shit up. You know what I mean?
No, because you don't know shit about anything, so you get insecure about it. Yeah, you don't want to Google anything either.
I've been trying to be decent with you, dog. I don't know what you're fucking.
I know you're getting emotionally mad though. I'm talking about facts. Okay, I'll be nice to you. Oh, okay. So from Canada we get wood, and with the wood we make houses. If we make more houses, we can have a lower cost for housing.
Or the fact, I don't want to get into the fucking fags and all that shit that you guys support.
Yes, I am going to post this online. You look great in this conversation. You don't know shit about anything, and you want to be homophobic.
I look fucking phenomenal, dog.
You want to be homophobic.
I called in. I called in, want to have a fucking...
You're like, why does lumber and oil matter? I don't even know what's happening right now, bro.
Dude, we produce everything our fucking selves. We don't need them.
You know, you don't need to eat, like, don't eat the paint chips. You don't need to. You can eat something else, dude.
Why would we not
produce our own shit and
be self-sufficient?
Produce your own paint chips. You can get a little scraper and get it off the wall yourself, bro. That is kind of cute, though. You get free snacks all the time.
Don't cut me off. Listen, we can produce everything ourselves. Why the fuck do we rely on anybody else?
We can produce everything. So we can produce coffee.
Are you only interested in this because I'm the only fucking person that called?
Can we produce coffee in America?
We don't. Yeah, we could.
For all of America?
We have the fucking environment to fucking do it.
No, we don't.
We outsource because we can.
Why do you think? Okay, where can you grow coffee at?
You can grow coffee in tropical environments. Guess where we have tropical environments? All fucking over the place.
No, actually no.
Okay, where's only coffee available?
Hawaii.
Brazil.
No, you said in America, right? So in America,
oh yeah, in America.
Coffee.
Florida, you can.
No, you can't in Florida. No, you can.
Why really can't you? Why can't you in Florida?
It's not humid or hot enough consistently
How about you
throughout the year.
Pull it up.
There might be some production. I'm not sure, but like I know it's
that's
definitely
what
Hawaii.
I fucking thought. Don't fucking deny me right off the bat that it's not available.
So like, let's say that there was like 1 cup of coffee made in Florida. All right, is that enough to fund America?
Yeah, coffee fucking sucks anyway.
Awesome. This is why. Let's see. I know there's some experimental farms and research units, but they are not successful in Florida, which I knew that. And Hawaii is the only place we can produce it. They can only produce around 1% of the coffee we consume in America. All right, go eat some more paint chips, buddy. Can someone else call in? Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Please donate to Jola Politics and Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Really appreciate everyone that supports the show. Independent media, we keep going because you keep on donating to Jola Politics and Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Or become a patron, or become a channel member, or eat some paint chips, okay? Eat some paint chips if you have enough. You can share some as well. Put some salt on them. I love paint chips. Puerto Rican coffee. Oh, you think Puerto Rican coffee and Hawaii coffee? Is coffee made in... Let's see, how much coffee is grown in Puerto Rico? Let's see, 3 million pounds. How much coffee does America consume per year? 1.7 trillion pounds. Wait, yeah, 1.7 trillion tons, sorry. Yeah, wait. Wait a second. Yeah, no. People don't understand anything, bro. 3.5 billion pounds we use in America. And Puerto Rico and Hawaii can produce like 13 million per year. Which is less than 0.0... Wait, what is that? Like 0.05% or some shit? Some small-ass number? I mean, you can grow coffee anywhere. It's just not going to grow. You technically can plant it.
Man, let's debate with a real Trump supporter.
Oh, I don't know if I like that. That's kind of scary, dude.
Hello.
Hello, this is the Politics Show.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
So what is it you think that Trump is what would you say he was forget I clicked off of it. So you honestly don't think Trump is a dictator? You don't think Trump is a good president?
He's one of our worst presidents of all time, to be frank.
You don't see how our economy's turning around?
To go bad? Yeah, it's going bad.
How is it going bad? This is the best we've had.
We're having record high foreclosures on closures on houses. We're having record high debt collection for credit cards. We're having record high debt in general. We're having record high taxes on small businesses.
I own and sell houses for a living, dude. You obviously don't know anything about the housing market.
Oh, so you're saying it's a good housing market right now?
It's outstanding.
Oh, okay. Cool. Everyone, the housing market
it's about
is fixed,
to flourish.
guys.
It's about to flourish much more once he continues to keep his foot on the neck, so they drop the percentage rate. But that's not up to him. That's up to the Fed.
It makes sense if you like him because you make money from doing dumbass shit that doesn't help anybody. You like sell properties and shit. You don't build shit. You don't do shit to make America run better. Of course you like Trump.
I own a shop also. What do you mean? I provide services to the public. What do you mean?
Nice. Well, I'm glad you're doing great in your bubble. That's amazing.
My bubble? Dude, I live in Detroit.
Good job. You're amazing.
Do you know where Detroit is? I mean,
nope,
do you know anything about Detroit?
No idea. So, some key points would be Trump cutting cancer research by 50% in America, cutting Alzheimer's research by 50% in America, slashing our ability to even do research for future cancer treatments and pretty much banning them. Is really bad. The tariffs are a really high tax increase on the American people, and Detroit is having job losses because of tariffs already. They're going to be even worse if Trump keeps on doing it. But you don't know that because you're probably a rich guy in the suburbs. But I mean,
dude, I live in Southwest Detroit. I just happen to own a lot of properties.
Okay.
But I live in a very high illegal area. It's called Mexican Town. Have you ever heard of Mexican Town, Detroit?
That's what all the people call it. Very high illegal areas. All the townsfolk call it that.
It's called Mexican Town, bro. Everybody knows that. You want me
very high illegal place.
Well, yeah, it is because I was ran over by a 55-year-old illegal that was high on Xanax pills a few years ago. And
so
she backed up over me.
You're a wealthy property owner in Detroit, probably a slumlord, I'm assuming, but it's whatever.
How do you, dude? If you see go on my website, look at my home.
Bro, I understand you're rich. I understand you're rich. I get it, you're rich. You don't got problems.
I'm not rich, dude.
Oh, by what standard?
I don't understand.
By what standard? We get it. You got money.
I mean, I'm a hood rat, bro.
Okay, good. Congrats.
We're
not talking about. We can't really talk. I mean, we could talk about your life if you want. I
went to Detroit public schools. My son went to Detroit public schools. Do you understand what that is?
You're an American success story.
Do you know what DPS is? It's called Detroit Public School System. It's one of the worst in the nation.
That's hard to figure out.
And guess what? My son graduated from there and with 4.14 GPA, and he just graduated from University of Detroit.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. If you don't know policies of the government. We could talk about your life though, but it's not a political conversation then. It's just like a conversation about other shit.
Well, but the policies are fantastic. What do you mean? You know he's about to cut out our personal income tax, right? To where we no longer are going to have to pay income tax? Like we shouldn't have to?
Why are you all so stupid, dude? Do you think it's cutting income tax, bro?
Yeah. I mean, you really don't know.
Paint chips. He tried making one statement about the world. He's like, Trump is getting rid of income tax, bro. It's going to be gone. That guy's awesome. Can someone call in who's not consuming bleach every night? Please. He's like, bro, I'm a hood rat. All the illegals around here hit me with their car. It's like, okay, bro, sure. All the people I know from urban areas always say, bro, I'm a hood rat. That's what they say every time. Okay. And I own a bunch of properties, dude. Nah, bro, I'm one of those non-wealthy people who owns multiple properties and has a website as a landlord. I'm a non-wealthy landlord. Don't you know about those? I mean, duh. Hello?
Zola.
Hi.
Zola politics.
I think so.
Watching the show, hearing some of the things, I just had I believe I'm a Trump supporter. One of the things I noticed, and just trying to hear your opinion on it, one of the great things I'm seeing so far with the policy is SNAP benefits going back into getting real food. A lot of A lot of people are mad. I'm not mad at it. I've seen people in none of my business, but I don't think SNAP should be for buying Reese's cups and Sprite. It should be going for healthy food to make a healthy body. I think that's one of the great things. I think that's going to save a lot of money. You don't think so?
It'll cost more money to do that.
Why do you say that?
So, like, how do you think you enforce a policy like that?
How do I think you enforce it's a card. So
like, whose job is it to tell a kid that he can't buy Reese's Puffs?
The
A
parent.
16-year-old high school student?
No, the parent.
Why would we want to police those things if it's going to cost more money and be like more of a administrative issue as well? It's going to cost more money to monitor it. You have to set a whole new guideline system. You have to work with grocery stores. It'll cost us more money overall, and it gives the government opportunities to police people on what they can buy. And if you think that'll never extend to take away your freedom, you're living in la land, because government overreach can always happen with that kind of thing. I don't want a system in place for the government to police what we eat and drink. And the current Trump government, I mean, I just don't trust the government to make those decisions for us. And usually good countries don't police people on that kind of stuff.
Well, Joe, I got to disagree on that. You don't have to be on SNAP. You don't have to be on supplementals. I mean, that's supposed to supplement part of your income. So you don't have to. You still have the money to buy your own stuff. Why does the government need to buy people Reese's Pieces and Sprite?
Because I don't want to police what people are able to purchase, and we have SNAP to help out, especially kids who need it. And people that I know, like SNAP is used the right way 95% of the time. So we would never make a program that's like, okay, well, we're gonna cut down on this and police it more for the 5% who use it wrong. That's always a way to use government in a bad way that's going to be less efficient as well.
You're saying police it more. Oh, I don't. Well, I know. Hey, I wasn't in the best situation a couple years ago when, I qualified for about $30 in SNAP. I can't imagine some of the people that get $500, whatever amount. But with that being said, I don't understand. There's no paying more into it. My understanding is you go to the grocery store, they already have a list in the system what you could use. Now it's just no candy, no stuff. They should be getting healthier stuff, which should, in fact, keep them healthier.
If
maybe
you want
less cancer.
if you want to tax food higher, that's sugary. I think that's an okay solution if you want to do that for all people. But I wouldn't want to make a underclass of people that needs to shop in a different grocery store or a different part of the store. And I don't want to make poor kids feel like shit because they have to go through a different line at the grocery store to make sure they don't buy foods that the government bans. I just think it's a terrible country. It's bad for our neighbors. I just think we're bad people if we do that shit. Good countries, free countries usually don't do that over policing. Like in Europe, they give in Europe they give cash. They don't even have food stamps in Europe. They just give cash. And in Europe they give cash to people. People are less addicted to drugs. They are healthier. They're in better shape because they have a better society. Because they aren't just trying to, like people like you focus on like cutting down people on SNAP with all of your efforts and energy. You never talk about building people up or giving people opportunities. All you people that call in, all the Trumpers that call in, you are pathetic pieces of shit that want to punch people down, but you never talk about building people up. And in Europe, they just give people money.
Whoa. You don't know me from a hole in the wall.
I don't know. No, I just don't. I don't care though. It's the mentality of America right now. Like in Europe, they give people cash and they do good things with it because they have a high trust society. They trust each other. They love each other. They love their country. They love their fellow people in general. But in America, we don't have that. We're like, oh, the mom's buying Doritos. We got to crack down on her. But we talk about taxing the wealthy and cutting down on fraud so they can't steal our information and make profit off of it by giving all of our kids depression with social media. And you guys don't do shit about it. And Trump's making that shit worse. And you don't talk about it. But of course, he'll take away Doritos from a poor mom and you'll be happy about it. That's just it's bullshit.
No, bro, but it got to start somewhere, right? There's a mom feeding their kids Doritos. You think Doritos are healthy compared to a healthy meal? Is that what you're telling me, that you shouldn't give the kids and find something to teach these parents something?
Yeah, you can reach out to the parents. I'm saying you shouldn't make a underclass that's treated differently by the government. You shouldn't make an embarrassment underclass. It should be all American food is made healthier, not just for poor people.
Who's embarrassed? You're talking about feelings. We're talking about the health of these kids, and you're telling me
it's not just feelings when the kid's in school and he's not allowed to buy. He's not allowed to have the same snacks as his friends. It's a shitty society. Like I said, in Europe, they give cash. Why do they do that?
Jola, so let me ask you this. I was in New York. They took away Snapple machines and soda machines in the vending machines. Would you have been against that? And did I suffer from that or anything? Was I embarrassed because there was an obesity issue in New York around that time?
who is going to be enforcing? Again, I don't want people to have to be in charge of telling these people on a Snap, oh, you can't buy that because we think you aren't, you don't have the privilege of eating like a sugary sweet today. Life's already shitty enough in America. Life's already shitty enough in general. I don't want to cut people off from being able to have snacks. We should be encouraging healthy behaviors. I don't want government authoritarian control. No, I'm saying we should encourage people to make healthier decisions, but I'm not going to do authoritarian government control like you would.
Well,
I want a high trust society where we encourage each other to be better. But you just want to. And again, I mentioned the ultra wealthy putting chemicals in our food to make us addicted to it, and you don't give a shit about them.
Right. No, I do.
But why are you calling in talking about SNAP then? You should be talking about limiting corporations' power to put poison in our food. But no, you want to talk about cutting shit away from poor people. It's your biggest focus.
One thing at a time. The kids don't need M&Ms from SNAP. That's one thing. Let them get a strawberry or something from an organic farm or something. That should stimulate the farm economy, right?
How do you decide what is like? Are you going to judge it by sugar?
Am I going to judge what by sugar? If something's candy,
like the cutoff.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the cutoff for like a food. Is it going to be by sugar?
You're saying for SNAP?
Yeah.
Well, my wife was pregnant. One of the things that we learned was the food pyramid. They were pretty adamant about the food pyramid, making sure the fetus gets that. I think that's a great starting point.
So you want to force families to eat certain foods, basically. You want to give them a list of food they're allowed to eat, government cheese.
Joel, no, don't put words in my mouth. I'm not forcing anyone. I asked you.
Well,
yeah,
you want to force them to not buy certain foods. You want to force them to buy certain foods, then, right? If you want them to not buy certain foods, you have to force them to buy other foods that's going to be legally, allowed by the government. You know what's crazy about this too? Think about this in a freedom perspective. We have artificial intelligence taking away jobs from people. So there's a hypothetical future where we have a lot of people who are unemployed in America. Now there's a chance you might be that person someday. There's a chance I might be that person someday. Now if that happens where we get replaced by robots, I don't want the government telling us what we can get with the benefits of our society. That's one big issue. And another one is, the way to do this. There's small rural grocery stores. Now we have to have huge government programs at the point of sale where they have a system to reject people when they try to buy certain kinds of foods in rural grocery stores. It'd be a super overloaded, overexpensive government program to attack poor people. It's just a stupid thing to do. We should be cutting down again on corporations. We should be cracking down on them.
Sure, but there's examples of what you're saying of low budget, low income grocery stores that have. There's government grocery stores where no corporate wants to be in, and they don't succeed. You can look at Chicago, you can look at Detroit, where they have these government grocery stores, and can you tell me those are basically under what me and you would pay? They're made for the people, and it doesn't succeed. What's your issue there?
Do you think that we should be banning sugary food in areas that have high obesity rates, that are poor?
I could care less what somebody does with their body, but should I pay for it with my taxes? No, I don't think I should pay for it.
You don't pay for shit with your taxes unless if you're a millionaire or a billionaire. You don't pay for shit in America with your taxes unless if you make tons of fucking money. None of us pay for shit in America.
I wish.
You could pay unless if you make again $500K plus. I pay a lot of taxes too, but we don't pay. I still get money back from the government. Every bridge you drive across, every road you go on, all that shit costs a lot of freaking money. One red light costs like $10,000 to put up. If you think you are paying for that shit, you are wrong. The people in our society who have all the money are paying for that shit. If you want to make it about that, they own you. You don't pay for shit in America. America gives you all the shit: military protection, police, fire department, all that shit. You never pay unless if you're a millionaire. You don't pay into the system unless if you're a millionaire. Anyone that makes under $200,000 a year, you are getting money back from the government, even if you don't have kids. But we don't know about that shit because we're not grown-ups in America. We're a bunch of But we just drive across a 20-mile bridge over the ocean, and we're like, oh, wow, this 20-mile bridge over the ocean that goes underwater and comes back above water so the ships can go over it. That shit was only, what, like a couple billion, 100 billion, 200 billion, 500 billion, a couple $1 trillion. Wow, I'm paying for that with my tax. No, you're not. Like, no one understands shit in America. Like, it's just annoying.
Well, again, learning experience. Just wanted to ask you about the SNAP. Again, it's always something to learn from you.
No, I love you. I love you. No, I love you. But like the big thing is, again, And the list of focuses, the Republicans use SNAP and attacking that and immigration as the two main issues because they don't need to actually like tax the wealthy. They can cut taxes for the wealthy. They can reduce regulations where they put poison in our water. And the big issue is that if we focus on all these cultural war issues, if we fight our neighbors, we're never going to focus on the real enemy, which are the corporations that put the chemicals in the food to make it addictive to poor people. So they come back and they have obesity, or they have gambling, or they have a bunch of issues with nicotine, alcoholism. All that shit is from corporations. We have to crack down at the source of it, the perpetrators, the enemies of society, the villains who are actually doing it. And I'm sick of us blaming the victims of these crimes for being pushed in this position where all they have is social media to connect to society. And now we want to isolate them even further because they can't buy a Hershey bar now. I just think we have our priorities all messed up.
Well, I have to disagree with you, Joel. I think these parents, their babies raising kids having kids. They didn't know any better. They're doing more harm to these kids than worse. So I understand giving a kid sweet. There's nothing wrong with that. But when that's all their diet is, you got to understand. I think that's what they're attacking, and I'm glad they're attacking that because I've seen that offhand. I've seen parents that don't know how to give their kids a full
Okay, do you think it should be illegal for them to have
meal.
kids? Should you make it illegal to have kids then if you're like that?
No, of course not. That's
Why not?
illegal.
Okay, why can we tell a parent how to parent, but we can't tell them not to have kids?
Who's telling them how to parent?
By using the government to crack down on the food they could buy.
Jola, they don't need to be on Snap. They don't need to be. Are you on Snap? Or me? I'm not on Snap anymore. Are you on Snap? You get to buy whatever you want.
When my family was on Snap, I wanted to be able to buy Coke every now and then. We were healthy. We didn't have any issues with that. I don't want the government cracking down on that and being paternalistic. I don't want the big brother government like you do, the authoritarian government telling people what they can buy or not. No, it's barely even a rounding error on taxes.
Coke is not healthy.
It's not healthy, but I was still,
right?
even when I was on government assistance, even when I was on government, no shit. We're not talking about recommendations for exercise. We're talking about what the government should be doing in authoritarian manners to restrict the population from doing shit. It's the government you're talking about. This is real life with the federal government. You realize if you violate any law from the government, they can come to your house and shoot you in the head. Like that's the thing we're talking about. If you make laws about anything, you have to have a real big thought about this. If we give the federal government power to crack down on this, then what kind of abuse of power can they do? That's what you should always be thinking about, because everything in America is reinforced by violence. And talk to a libertarian about this shit. Like it's just okay. Have a blessed night. I love you.
New donation from OSnap. $10 Jola is all that and a bag of original flavor paint chips.
Thank you, Sprig, for the paint chips. It's such a the SNAP benefit debate is kind of like the Narcan. So there's debates on SNAP benefits and sugary foods. There's debates on Narcan. And it's like, well, why should I pay for Narcan when someone's going to overdose? There's debates on healthcare. Why should I pay for healthcare when someone else is going to abuse it? These are all predicated on the idea that Americans freaking hate each other. Americans hate America. Americans hate themselves. Americans have no confidence in their neighbors or their country or anything. They have the mentality they need to be isolated and buy a suburban home down a huge-ass driveway with 25 cameras up so they can, play pickleball in their private pickleball court and never see anyone, ever. And they want to, there's no community. There is no America to these people. The policy perspective of having a sugar ban for SNAP and integrating with all these different grocery chains in every area of America is untenable as a program. It would create major red tape. It would cut down on things like fruits, for example, because you would be having different guidelines. A lot of fruits are just as bad for you with their high sugar content as soda is, depending on how much you eat of it. Who decides on what is good or bad for you from the government? Once you tell poor people, like, hey, dude, if you're on SNAP, there's going to be limits on you buying a Snickers bar. And thank you again, Sprig, for $10. Thank you for the paint chips. Once the government has the ability to restrict that food, then they can keep on restricting more and more and more food. And then eventually, like I said, there is a possible future where we have super high unemployment. So if the government has the ability to do all these things to crack down on poor people now, you're just never thinking you're going to be a poor person. Like, when you talk about, like, the ICE detaining people wrongfully and abusing them and raping them and all that shit, and you're like, well, it's not happening to you, so you don't really care. It's not happening to you yet. But the point of freedom is you put systems in place for every human being, because no matter what happens to you, the government is not going to have the ability to come and kill you. No matter what happens. It's layers of protection and freedom from an authoritarian government. Do you want the war on drugs to completely stop? Should all drugs be illegal? Probably. No, but like, we have to remember as well in these conversations, it's not going to be an argument that wins a debate on logic, or like I say as well, I don't have any kids. But I advocate for myself to pay a higher property tax for the school. And I want to make sure that we have more money for the school, because I care about the kids, I care about my community, but also in a self-serving way, I don't have kids, but I still benefit, because I know those kids are going to be having after-school programs instead of doing bad things, crime. I know they have spaces to do extracurriculars. They have parks to play in if I pay more taxes locally for our public parks. Kids from bad families and more violent and unsafe conditions can get more help. And when you have all these processes and better education, all that shit, it helps the local economy. You have better workers. Those kids are going to grow up to be your neighbors. You have better neighbors eventually. There's less crime in general. Like, you replace crime with opportunity. So I say, I want to pay higher property taxes. I want to pay higher taxes. And I want to use those taxes to give kids benefit. Because if we don't give them benefit, we're going to spend more money on cops. We're going to spend more money locking people up instead of them having opportunities. We're going to spend more money on the back end. And from a self-serving perspective, I want to pay higher taxes because it's better. It's going to make a better world for me to live in. But in America, the mentality is cut the taxes, cut public schools, don't go outside, be afraid of having tough conversations, have a private home tutoring, and have a private mansion somewhere, and be afraid of immigrants. And you're going to be, and that's the American way that people are doing right now, are doing it right now. And then brain dead, paint chip eating morons like the guy in chat say, start a non-profit. Thank you, Frost King. If there's a sugar ban on SNAP benefits, then you're pretty much effed. So many foods have added sugar. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the fruits, the different foods with added sugar, even apple juice. On bans like that, apple juice is probably cut out. Grape juice is probably cut out. Like juices, orange juice, lemonade, iced tea. You get into a point where you're like, well, poor people just can't have any food that tastes good. The microwave meals. And if you want to say, well, poor people should be cooking all their food, you cannot afford to buy raw meat for every meal if you're on SNAP benefits. You don't have the time to cook it all. You don't have time to prepare it all. Meat is expensive, especially under Trump. So you do got to cut some corners. You have to buy some processed food. It's just how it is. Which, again, is why you have to fix the entire system. It is cheaper to be a nice person. And then you get into that conversation, and this is good. It's actually good to have this conversation, because I was thinking about this debate the other day, because this is one of those really hard debates, and you can't feel too bad for yourself or about yourself, because you look at Democratic politicians, they look like they are getting a vacuum cleaner, sucking up all the paint chips they can find, and then doing a reverse, a leaf blower into their mouth to make sure they ingest as much lead paint as possible when they talk online about this shit, about trans people, about anything. Once you get to the point of, well, if you ban sugary food and unhealthy food, you ban 90% of the grocery store, then you get back to the real issue, which is the companies adding all these sugars and fats into the food. So we go back to the whole food supply being addictive and unhealthy, which again goes back to the main issue of, yeah, don't make the paint chips taste so good. Anonymous account. We cannot make rules for the exception. Just because your family was responsible doesn't mean we aren't wasting billions of dollars on shit food. Let's see how much money we waste on shit food. By the way, Americans waste $300 billion per year on gambling. The federal government spends $100 billion on SNAP per year, right? $100 billion. How much did Americans spend on gambling? How much did, in 2024, how much did Americans spend on gambling in 2024? Americans spent $150 billion on sports gambling in 2024, around $300 billion in total gambling in 2024. So what people are saying essentially is all of SNAP is half what Americans spend on gambling. But we need to make sure we restrict food from poor kids so we can use that money to go buy alcohol, to gamble, to go to concerts. You can't give food to poor kids, but we can give $100,000 bonus sign-on bonuses to ICE agents and cancel their debt. We can't give kids food. We can't give kids teachers and pay them well, but we can pay ICE agents these crazy six-figure salaries. We can't do all this shit. We can gamble our money away. We can drink our money away. We can smoke our money away. We can spend money, $200 million on Trump's Golden Palace outside the White House. Trump's golf trips every single freaking day. JD Vance's 8 vacations. Trump going to the Super Bowl was like a $10 million venture because they had to give all this crazy security. It's some high number. We could do all this crazy shit in America. We could fund as many bombs as possible for kids in Gaza. We could spend all this money everywhere and on AI data centers to, you know, pollute our water and drain our resources from our poorest communities. We could do all this shit, but we cannot give kids food. We can't have healthcare. We cannot have healthcare, never. But we could build a nuclear reactor on the moon, right? We cannot have healthcare. Or we cannot do anything in America unless if it suits what the wealthy and selfish want. And it's not just wealthy; it's also selfish. It's scared, paranoia for people who don't believe America can be a great country. So you want to fight your neighbors. You're mad at the one lady buying Doritos, but you're not mad at the billionaire putting opioids in our medication supply, lying about them, putting poisonous chemicals in the water, cancerous chemicals in the water. You don't care about our government canceling cancer research and Alzheimer's research and canceling a possible fix to future cancer through the cancer mRNA vaccines because they're brain dead from social media. We cannot get our priorities right in America whatsoever because everyone's a damn weenie. Weenie Hut Jr. type shit. On God, no cap for real. On God, no cap for real. Skibbity toilet. The Rizzler. The Rizzler. Dude, think about it. Yeah, SNAP is also a subsidy for agriculture. Okay, my throat hurts. I think I'm getting sick, guys. I actually think I'm getting sick. I might need to call it. My throat is really scratchy. Thank you, Sri, for $5. Sri. Spriggan Sri. I gotta keep on going. You were spitting until that last part. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hi, you've reached Commander Frere.
Whoa. No one heard that shit. No one heard that shit. No one heard that shit. For real. No one heard that shit. No one can even hear here. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me.
Don't worry, nobody heard anything.
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning.
It is the morning, so yeah. I just want to say, why are we focusing on the peas and not the steak when it comes to the budgeting of the American government? SNAP is less than 5% of the government budget. We're talking nothing. Nothing goes to SNAP. I want to point out some people. They do. They hate poor people. It's true. That's why they're cutting all the programs. You know, they had to cut how many billion from Medicaid? Was it like 880 or something ridiculous?
Yeah, for the illegals and also the people that don't want to work. Yeah.
Yeah, the people that don't want to work. Somebody in chat was saying, if you've been on SNAP for more than 6 months, you need to be cut off. You need to work. And I just want to ask him, well, what about the kids that are going to school that need the food from SNAP? Their parents are probably working. Over 80% of the people on SNAP do work. And then you have the fact that there are disabled people that are on SNAP. Are you going to take food away from people that worked and got disabled or can't work because of things beyond their control? That's my question. Also, as for the why do they get to buy Sprite or Coke, or you are aware that a lot of people treat conditions with caffeine, migraines, ADHD. They might not be able to afford the actual medications, and caffeine is a cheap, poor, easy to get substitute. And then there's the sugar. What about people that are hypoglycemic? What about diabetics? What am I going to do? Sit around with a pack of strawberries and let them go bad just to have them on hand in case I need quick sugar? No. You buy a can of frosting, you buy a little bottle of Sunny D, and you keep it in the fridge, and it doesn't go bad.
No, but they think poor people are just like these really disgusting pigs who want to eat all this food, and they hate everyone, and they want to just get fat off the government check and ruin America. They don't see it as like all these real individuals who are, you know, fighting to survive, and they only get shown people who are, to be fair to them, they only get shown the stereotype, and they never experience real life, so they don't know any better. For a lot of them, some of them are just hateful assholes, but some of them just are dumb as well. And like when you talk about like the you know, carve outs for certain, you know, issues or whatever, for certain medical conditions, and it's like, well, you want to trust the big government to choose what foods to ban and then make exemptions for certain illnesses, and then you have to work with grocery stores to then do this, and the 15-year-old high school student is going to tell you that you can't buy the can of icing. It's like, okay, well, you're just completely brain dead. Yeah.
Well, it's like a doctor straight up told me, get a can of frosting. When your sister has a diabetic episode, you can use that and it'll react faster. It'll start absorbing through the skin of her mouth instead of having to go through her stomach. So yeah, we keep a can of frosting. And I mean, are we not supposed to be able to buy that if one of us gets disabled or one of us loses our job, which is, you know, kind of happening all over the country right now, because the unemployment numbers are not great, as we know.
Yeah,
because Trump fired the person that was showing the honest numbers and hired some schmuck that he can control. And you can't trust these people. You can't trust the government in general to be making decisions about your health, to be making decisions about what you should or should not eat, because these people are not doctors, period. They have not gone through all the schooling. They didn't do their rotations. They don't know any of this stuff.
That's the issue with populism, though. So in a populist era, things go really bad because people think they're geniuses. They collapse the governmental systems, and then you do like it's a cycle. It's like you build a society that's really great. It collapses because people are stupid, and then you realize, oh shit, that's why we needed government, and that's why it was a good thing. And then it gets good again. Then it collapses. And then it's over and over and over again.
It is over and over and over again, and I thought we had learned our lesson, but apparently not. Apparently, we just wanted, 51% of the population just wanted to watch it burn, which I understand, but I didn't want to do it just for other people.
Yeah, it's tough. Thank you for the call. Give me a little break from speaking. But yeah, I've been working on like making my arguments for that kind of stuff. Because people really don't You have to convince people to be good people, essentially, and it's really hard to do that.
That's just the ridiculous part. I watch you all the time, and when people make these dumb arguments, I just want to scream. I have screamed at my phone screen before because they were just that dumb.
And they get really mad when I call them dumb too. They do all this like fake. They literally voted for Donald Trump. They voted for Donald Trump, and I call them like a dumbass, and they're like, "Did you just call me a dumbass? I came here to have a good conversation. You're being mean." It's like, shut up, dude. Like, continue the conversation.
I would call them so much worse, which is why I don't
exactly.
go on YouTube, because I got no filter. But I mean, there's so many more important things to worry about than what somebody that you aren't paying crap for to get SNAP is putting in their cart.
No, they don't know that though. They're privileged. They're little bitches.
Apparently, they're privileged. Apparently, they don't have to struggle for it. Apparently,
most Americans are privileged. That's the issue. Is like the Biden inflation stuff. The people who really were impacted by that did not vote Trump. They did not vote Trump. The people that were like minorly impacted, who were really just mad about it because they hated immigrants and they wanted to blame it on people, they were suburbanites that voted, Trump. It's whatever. All right, well, I'm gonna try to get one more debater. Maybe.
Yeah, go take care of your throat too, dude.
I will. Us liberals love. Yeah.
All right. Liberals, I know. Being kind, it's such a crime.
True.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. All right. Devin. I appreciate you, Devin. What the hell? Why would you do that? Devin, thank you for $69. I don't know what you're going. I don't know what's been happening with you.
Oh shit.
Devin said how much money for one more hour? And I said $69 as a meme because I'm like, that's a high number and it's also a dumb number. So there's no way. Who's DJ? Wait, who's sharing my TikTok stream? I appreciate it. I don't get any TikTok viewers. All right, guys, I'm gonna make a new stream in honor of Devin. All right, it's gonna be I'm gonna make a new stream. It's gonna be sponsored by Devin. So refresh the page. We're making a new stream. It's gonna be called sponsored by it's gonna be called Trump is a Weenie. Sponsored by Devin. Alright, that's what the stream title is. Alright, go to the new stream. It's called Trump is a Weenie, sponsored by Devin. I'll see you guys there. All right, new stream, guys. It's gonna be on the same channel. Thank you, Devin. Devin the dumbass, or someone said Devin the dude. I thought you said Devin the dumbass.